Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Welcome to my photography shopping live stream where we go online together and look for deals on photographic accessories, lens, cameras, etc. And I try to cherry pick a few good deals out ahead of time that I'll talk about. Some new ones that I didn't cover last week during the Prime Day, but there's still a lot of things on sale at or near the Prime Day prices, and some new things that were not on Prime Day, for example. And I've also created a new page for camera gear under $20. Because, we're all looking for, a good deal on products or if it's not on sale, a good product at a good price. And so I picked out a lot of things for my new $20 page. So I have the links down below. One is called robtrek.com/deals. And then the other one is robtrek.com/deal20. So bookmark those two pages whenever you go shopping for photography gear and accessories, because I am an affiliate for Amazon and will earn a commission on anything you buy, but it doesn't cost you any more, and it helps the channel out quite a bit, supporting the work that I do here, both for not only the shopping stream, but my open Q&A live streams and my photo editing streams. And I see a few people here already. I see Giuseppe and Jeff and John. Good to see everyone. Good to see you, Kevin. And I did want to mention Kevin last week, I think it was, sent me an email uh, wishing me a happy Father's Day, and I appreciate that, but I'm not a father, so but the sentiment is appreciated. And I welcome you guys to email me anytime if you have any questions about anything. I always do my best to answer them. I'm a little bit backlogged. I have a few emails I haven't gotten back to yet, but I will get back to you the best I can. And with that said, let's go ahead and look at some of the deals I found today. We'll start off with the uh, my normal picks, uh, deals that I thought were particularly good for the camera community, and that's on my page robtrek.com/deals. And again, those links are down below. Um, so we'll go over here, and so there's a lot of Sigma lenses still on sale here, and I really like the 56 millimeter Sigma. It's an f1.4. This makes a great portrait lens on Micro Four Thirds and APS-C. I have this lens for my Fujifilm X-H2, and it just renders beautifully. Uh, Terrific bokeh, really a lot of nice character, and I found a really good deal here. This one is for, let's see, this one is the Fujifilm version. And for $450, Adorama, this is the shipper and seller, so you can trust them. Uh, they're including like a lens case, a lens hood, or a lens shade, I should say, this item here, as well as a little bitty cleaning kit, lens cleaning kit, with a pen and also some filters. Specifically, I really like the polarizer and ND filter that they're including with it. Those are very, very useful filters. So you're kind of getting all in one. And there's some software there. I would probably skip using any of that. I used to use those like 10 years ago, but there are much better options out there. But if you don't have anything now, this is better than nothing, right? There's a photo editor, a video editor, a graphic editor, and something called Pro Magic, whatever that's kind of new. But yeah, so if you have a Fujifilm camera, I can highly recommend this lens, regardless of what camera you have. If you have the right mount for your Fuji or your Micro Four Thirds, I believe it's also on Nikon and Canon, but or Sony. So let's take a look at the one here for Sony. In this case, this is coming from Focus Camera, another really good seller here. And for $479, so like $10 more, I think, you're getting two batteries. This is the smaller battery, the NPW50, I think. The smaller of the two batteries that Sony camera uses, and it's used mostly in their APS-C cameras, but there's a few older full-frame cameras that use those batteries. And it comes with a charger, and it also comes with a 64 gig memory card. So, these are getting really expensive. That's probably a $50 value right there. And, a little mini backpack and lens case. But more importantly, they're including a filter kit. It looks like the filter kit has, in this case, you know, the UV filter, a fluorescent light filter, but most importantly of all of these is the circular polarizer with, you know, lens filter case. So this is a terrific deal. If you're shooting with a Sony camera, APS-C, even full frame, if you have, you know, a high-res full frame camera, you can take advantage of this in APS-C mode. Uh, it's, you know, like I said, it's a terrific lens. This is a terrific deal, including all of these things for just about $10 or $20 more than if you were to try to buy the lens all by itself. And then this is the one for Micro Four Thirds. Robin Wong just did a review on this. I think he really liked it. And they're including the lens shade, a filter set, you know, the software bundle there, a lens cleaning kit, and a pouch. So you're getting all of that for $454. And you know, this is a wonderful lens. Personally, if I had to buy lenses over again for my Micro Four Thirds system, I would have got this instead of my 75 1.8. Now the 75 1.8 is a wonderful lens, probably one of the sharpest lenses on the Micro Four Thirds mount, but it's about $300 more than this lens at the current pricing, and I felt it was a little bit too long, you know, for doing portraits. You know, because it's an equivalent 150 millimeter. That's a little rough. Whereas this one is what, about a 80 millimeter equivalent, give or take, which is a more traditional portrait lens. And again, it renders beautifully on the Micro Four Thirds system. I've not heard one bad thing about this lens. And it's great that it's still available for us on the Micro Four Thirds mount. And with the accessories included here, this is the best deal I could find. I'd like to see a memory card come with it, but instead they included, you know, well, this is without the memory card, so it's about $25 less. Okay, and also, this is a lens that a lot of people like. This is for the Sony camera. It's available in other mounts as well. But I think, you know, I think this is best used on APS-C cameras. It's a little bit bulky, I think, on a Micro Four Thirds, in my opinion. And I'd rather shoot with my 25 1.8 instead of this personally because of the size. But if you do have an APS-C camera, Fujifilm, Sony, this is a terrific lens. And in this case, they're including a lens cleaning kit and the not a lens, well, what is that? I don't know, some kind of cleaning kit there. It is a lens cleaning kit, I'm sorry. And then also the 64 gig card. And this is, again, a terrific deal. The 64 gig card, you know, easily worth like 50 bucks at today's prices. So, you know, if you're shooting on APS-C, this is a fantastic lens. Okay, and then going a little bit further down, these are a little bit more niche products, but you know, if you were thinking about this backpack, this is a high-end, you know, top-tier backpack from branded with Peter McKinnon. A lot of people really like this bag. It's on sale now at probably the lowest price I've seen, you know, in a long time, if ever. So, you know, we can click on the price history here. And if we do the 1 year, yeah, this has got to be the lowest price it's been in a long time, since last year, October, which was Black Friday. So, you know, if you were shopping for a top tier backpack, this is the time to get it. Okay, and then let me just hit the chat section. I just saw a question here from Peter. Hello, great advice on fireworks on Sunday chat. Have you ever used a star point filter for fireworks? I have. I've tried it. Not so great. And it's not really needed because you're shooting at like f11 anyway. And a lot of lenses will have their own starburst kind of effect without using a starburst filter. So I wouldn't do it. I didn't see much difference when I used it. I thought it'd be more dramatic, but it really wasn't. So I think maybe because the speculars are a little bit too small for whatever reason, and you're shooting from a pretty good distance, so the effect was minimal if it wasn't obvious at all. So just just don't use a star filter with fireworks. I don't recommend it. If anything, it might cause some reflections and glare because they're not star filters are typically these like budget star filters, and they're not going to be high quality anyway. Just use them for fun, for other things, but not for fireworks. Okay, let me get back to, yeah, and there's some feedback there from a user. This lens is a keeper, definitely, and it's terrific price. Anytime you can get that lens for under $500, just get it. It's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion. All right, let's go back here, and this insert here, you have to add these two prices together, so it's going to be what, $6.50, give or take. This is a nice, really nice insert for any kind of bag. If you already have like a nice little sling bag, but it's not a camera bag, you can throw this in. It's about 10 inches wide. The dimensions that they state here are wrong. These are the correct dimensions. It's 10 inches by 3.35. Anyway, you can see it here. I have this insert. It came with one of my bags, and I really like it. And I use it two different ways. And this is a great price because if you look down, you'll see that insert. It's selling for anywhere from like $14 to $18. If you buy it, like here's one, $13 for the same thing. So you're getting this for about half the price of the next lowest price. So I love this insert. As you can see, you can kind of fold down one side very easily. You have all three sides up. It has this sort of bendable flap at the top, so you can stick your camera in with a grip. And it adds a lot of rigidity to your sling bag. Even if you have a sling bag that came with the normal like foam dividers, I would replace that with this, and you'll get a lot. You'll really like it, and it makes it very easy to get things in and out of the bag as well. And I also like to use this if you have a roll top bag, for example. Let me see if I can demo that. Like these roll top bags are very, very popular. Like the Wandered ones were on Prime Day for like 130 bucks. Now they're like 230, but you can just stick the insert right in the top here, because right now this is just an empty space, right? And I have the insert. It came with my sling bag that I use. This is like almost my daily driver as a bag right now. But let me take out what I have in here. A lot of times I use a can cooler so I can stack lenses on top of each other. So I'll slip. Allie's getting excited about something. Anyway, I'll slip this over like so as a can cooler, and then I can stack lenses. But anyway, this divider is, I probably don't really have to demo this because you can kind of picture it, but this divider can go right in the top here. Now you have another set of dividers. Let's see if I can get it in the camera. Another set of dividers right here on top of the other open space that you normally get with these bags. And it doesn't have to be the roll top. It can be the regular type of backpack that a lot of times they have a zipper on top. You can stuff this on top as well, because the zipper top usually doesn't have dividers. It's a space for like clothes or water bottles, whatever. But now you can take full advantage of all the space that your backpack offers. So it's a great insert. And for larger backpacks, you can, that don't have enough dividers, some of them don't, you can add that as well. So for $6 and change, uh, this this is this is a deal. I just added to my cart, so I'm probably going to pick up another one. Because what I was doing is I was transferring that divider between my backpack and my sling bag. Now, if I have one more, I don't have to do that anymore. I can always have my backpack ready to go. For that price, yeah, I'm gonna buy another one. I probably wouldn't pay $13 to $18. That's kind of a lot for just a divider. I'll just swap them, right? But for $6 and change, why not? Um, and then this is a well, not a half. It's a combination leather case and half case for the Lumix LX100 Mark II. $21, full leather. I bought several Mega Gear leather cases. They're great. It's not top tier because there's $100 leather cases that are really, really nice. But this one here, you put it on. You have to form fit it a little bit and break it in. But once that's done, uh, it's really a great way to protect your camera from the elements, and then you can truly make the LX100 sort of a everyday carry when you're walking around, when you're not like, you go to lunch or breakfast, when you're out on your photo walks. You can just kind of wrap it up inside here and not have to carry a separate sling bag just to put your camera in. You can just use this, right? Um, so it's a great travel accessory. It's on sale at a great deal right now. Again, always check the price history of items and keep in mind the context of what the item is when you start comparing against prices from last year. But right now, this is at a really good price. It's been cheaper, right? Much earlier this year in February when they had another Prime Day going on. But you can see on this Prime Day, this is actually a little bit lower price than it was on Prime Day. So check this out. And then this one is for the Leica Deluxe 8, which is the expensive sibling to the LX100 Mark II. But nice taupe color. I like this. I'm considering this for my Leica. I have both the LX100 and a Deluxe 8. I'm considering getting the Lumix L10. Well, I've already pre-ordered it, but it hasn't come in yet, so I can still cancel it. But there you go. There's a good case for that. And then I found a really good deal on a battery set here. You get 2 batteries and the charger. I like this charger because it tells you how many milliamps it took to charge the battery. And that'll give you a good indication of the life left in the battery. This is for the Canon, Canon R series, the R7, R5, R6, the larger battery of the Canon R series. You get a terrific charger with 2 spare batteries. The batteries last about 70-80% of the OEM batteries. So just use them as backups. Always have 2 original factory batteries for your camera, and then only use these as a backup. But this is a great deal. It's a great charger, and I've been using this. I have one for my Fujifilm camera, and it's the only charger I use, and it's a great travel charger because it has its own USB cord built in. So if you take it with you, and USB ports are everywhere, you can plug it in and charge your batteries. You can see the one I bought was for my Fujifilm. Wow, it's been almost 2.5 years now. Crazy. Crazy how time flies. Okay, now the Nikon Z6 III, undoubtedly, and I think this camera's on sale now too for pretty substantial discount. We'll check that. But it's a very capable camera for both photos and videography, so it makes sense to have a good cage for it. And cages can get expensive, but I found this one here, Jwin, or JLWin, they $20, okay? And this takes a lot of stress off your hot shoe mount when you're mounting like monitors and other accessories. And it has Arca Swiss plate built in on the bottom here. So it's a great way to protect your camera from damage when you are rigging it with monitors and microphones and all kinds, triggers, whatever. There's all kinds of things. Spare batteries come now in hot shoe mounts. So you want to protect your camera much as you can. And this offers a lot of great stability. There's screws everywhere, so if you want to add an additional grip so you can hold the camera on both sides, $20 if you were looking for something like that. And speaking of batteries and charging, this is a great deal for Ugreen. Ugreen and Anker are my two top favorite brands when it comes to power banks and power strips and chargers and cables. And when they go on sale, if it's one that I need, that's what I'm going to buy. I really like the Anker and Ugreen brands. Ugreen is typically about 20% cheaper than the Anker, but I think the quality is pretty much the same. There's not a 20% difference in quality, is what I'm trying to say. And so I would, this is a great little travel charger, 30 watts, more than enough power to fast charge your phones and cameras and whatever else, batteries, things like that. Okay, and then this gimbal, this is a very popular gimbal, and if I recall correctly, this is compatible with our OM system cameras as well. So you can have it automatically do like time lapse and 360 and all kinds of things can be programmed, and this will automatically take the pictures. I've experimented with another gimbal that I have, not this brand, and it can be useful. So if you were thinking about a gimbal, particularly if you do video work, this will stabilize quite a bit, everything. But this is the heavy duty one. So I would recommend this as for professional work, because it comes with the extra grip, which makes a big difference. When I did a lot of video work for my clients, the grip was invaluable in stabilizing the camera and getting, lower angle shots. But, if you're more of an enthusiast, casual user of the gimbal, they have the Mini here also on sale for $269. So pick your poison there on that one. It works great. And here's kind of an oddball accessory I found that I've never thought about. Whenever I think about trying to do mirror type photography where you have reflections and things, I just think about like these dollar store mirrors you buy, and they certainly will work, but they're glass. For photography, if you really want to get into mirror type photography, you can take these with you and they're not going to crack and break. I've cracked a couple of mirrors trying some mirror type photography. I mean, they were dollar store mirrors, so I didn't care. But, this is certainly a lot safer. And, for $20, you're getting 7 mirrors here of different shapes and sizes. And there's a lot of really interesting videos on YouTube on how to use the mirrors in photography for very creative effects. So I just kind of threw this in here. It's not on sale, but it's not that expensive either. So it's kind of a neat way to maybe start experimenting. I'm thinking about this for myself. I just have so much on my plate now. I don't know when I would get to doing any kind of mirror stuff. Okay, let me close a few windows here so I don't crash my computer. Okay, LED lighting. This is essentially a 200 watt light, and I think it boosts to 280. Yeah, it's a 280 watt boost, a 210 constant. And, but just look at this as a 200 watt light. And it's not battery powered, so you will need to plug it in. So this is for studio use only. But what's great is how compact and lightweight this is. And it's 50% off. It's an amazing deal for a 200 watt light. LED lighting is come a long way, and it's really, I think it's really ideal for product photography in particular. For portrait photography, a lot of people like the what you see is what you get. They can adjust the light so they get exactly the shadow they want. They don't have to like take a test shot to see where the shadows are falling. For me, I found the modeling, these lights are really bright in the model's face. So that gives you one advantage and one disadvantage, right? The advantage is that the model's irises tend to close and you get a lot more color if they have like really beautiful blue or green eyes. Uh, the negative being is that it's bright and they might be squinting a little bit, right? So they have to be very relaxed and adjust to the light before you can really start shooting. Otherwise, you'll get a slight squint in their eye. Uh, so, I think it's better for product photography rather than portrait. But again, for portrait photography, there's some distinct advantages with the uh, iris for the eye and also for adjusting for shadows and things to get exactly what you want. All right, and then I did find a couple of tripods. You know, this is a fully articulating tripod. It's not just a 90 degree. It actually, you can angle it down and up, and that's very, very useful. And this is a pretty respectable price. I've seen it as low as like 79 at times under a different brand. But for $89, if you need something like this, it's really useful for flat lay photography, macro photography, so you don't have to invert your camera upside down to get low down to the ground. You can do it with this very easily and get in closer to your subjects. So even if your tripod is standing up, you know, maybe 2 or 3 feet, you can extend that center column to get very, very close to your flowers or whatever it is you want to do close-up photography on. So it's a very, very practical tripod. I wouldn't use it as like my everyday tripod because it is a little heavy and bulky, right? But those times when you want to go out, it's really useful, and it's just $89.94, and it's a great second tripod. I would get this as my second tripod if I was going to buy this. And I do have extension arms and things, and I have a couple of these tripods myself. Not exactly this one, but similar. And I do use it time to time, particularly on tabletop type photography, when I'm trying to do some close-up work and product type photography. You know, food photography, all kinds of things. Is very, very useful. And then, of course, this tripod is still available for 20 bucks. I think someone said they're getting theirs in today. They ordered it last week when I featured this. Hands down, this is a great tripod. So if you're on a very tight budget, you know, you're not going to get a better tripod than this for 20 bucks. And I use this one in my studio a lot, you know, but I also use this as my backup tripod, you know, that you can keep in the trunk of your car, so that those times when you don't want to bring your good tripod, you're thinking, you know, I'm not going to need it. But then you get on site and you're like, oh, I wish I brought it. You have this, right? So 20 bucks, this is a great backup tripod. This is a great budget tripod for people just getting started, that if you're not sure you're going to need a tripod as a beginner, if you know, 20 bucks, you can get it and you can start to experiment with landscape and long exposure. All the things that you cannot do handheld as well, I should say. So definitely consider this. I highly recommend this. And this was a little bit of a surprise. Now, if you're a Nikon shooter, this is a great deal. $28. This is very similar in power output to the much more expensive Godox TT350. But it's basically the same. And, you know, same power outputs, you know, same flash head, so you can tilt and rotate it. There's really, if you're on a tight budget, this is a great flash to get started with. It's very small and compact. And, you know, you can use it also in full manual on just about any other camera. You can put on your Sony or Olympus, Panasonic. You can put on any camera and just use it in full manual mode. So if you're looking for just an additional small flash that you want to use in manual mode, it also has a optical trigger. This is a good deal if you just want to do that. and maybe you don't have a Nikon, Sony, or Canon. Also, if you're going to use this with your Nikon camera, this has a built-in wireless trigger and receiver. So it says right here, master slave mode. So you'll get high-speed sync, TTL, and you can control multiple other flashes. So this is great as a trigger on camera, as a fill flash. It uses 2 AA batteries, so I recommend getting either a Duracell or Enelope rechargeables for this. But yeah, amazing deal. Amazing deal, particularly for Nikon shooters. All right, now let me take a break here before we get into memory cards and see what comments we have here in the chat. The blurred frame, when I use the magnified pointer in AF, read the EM10 Mark II manual, and it says when you are using 4/3 lenses, system lenses, the AF will not operate during zoom. Maybe this? I don't recall using, I've used 4/3 lenses on my other cameras, but they all have phase detect and they work well. Maybe it's because the 4/3 system is contrast detect. But yeah, there's too many variables there that could be causing a blurred frame. But I know that 4/3 lenses work better with phase detect cameras than the EM10 Mark II, so you'll probably get a lot of problems with autofocus on a contrast detect only sensor. So sorry, I can't give you more feedback on that because I've never used it on my EM10 Mark II. I've always used it on my EM5 Mark III or OM1, OM3, which are all phase detect cameras. But I do recall the 4/3 lenses do work better on phase detect cameras than contrast detect, and that may be just something you'll have to deal with. And Robert, good to see you. And Ethan says, any word on maybe a new OM10 coming out or something simpler? I still think camera like the old, very colored Olympus trip cameras would be great nostalgic choice for OM fixed lens. Yeah, that would be nice. Like I said, I haven't heard anything. I think if we do see another camera, it'll be more of a pen style camera with a interchangeable mount. I don't think they'll come out with a fixed lens camera because they just don't have the bandwidth to do all things at once, right? So but you never know. Like the OM3 surprised everyone, including myself. You never know, but I don't see it happening. I wouldn't put my money on it, so to speak. Like I wouldn't have put my money on an OM3, but here we are, right? My favorite camera of all time. Yeah, but I haven't heard anything other than what you can see on 43 Rumors website. And Henning's here. Good to see you. All right, so let's get back to the shopping here. And let's talk about these memory cards. All right, this is the first one up here is the Sabrent 512 gig Type B, CF Express Type B. And this is, you're going to pay double this price with just about any other brand. If I scroll down, I'm going to eat my words here. Watch. Here's a 512 gig Type B. So $100 more for that one for 512 from Next Storage. Of course, that's a little bit faster card technically. In practice, it doesn't make much difference. Let's see. Here's another one for $299. This is about the same speed, 512 gig. So not double, but 30%, 25 to 30% more with any other brand. Is Sabrent is an excellent brand. It's a top tier brand, okay? Uh, there are brand names, right? Like SanDisk and Lexar, which I would also call top tier, but I consider this top tier right up there with the same quality as those more well-known brands. So a lot of cameras, the Panasonic full frame, the S1s, I believe, use the Type B, and of course the Canon and Nikon all use Type B on their newer cameras. This is an incredible deal. 512 gig for $195. And on the SD card side, I found this. It's a 256 gig V60 card for 115. This is still much cheaper than the average going rate. If we just compare to, let's see if we can find a V30 or a V60 256. They're a little bit hard to find even. It's not just coming right up. Oh, here's one, 229. If you want to get an OWC V60. And let's see another decent brand here. Yeah, they're far and few between. Here's a PNY 256 V60, $180. Kingston is also a top tier brand. If I don't recommend buying a memory card right now unless you really need one. I guarantee when this comes back to be restocked, it's going to come in at a higher price. But you're going to have to wait probably until 2028 before prices start to come down. What I read is that they're building a new fabrication factory that's going to take the load off all the other SD card manufacturers and start cranking out, SD cards and other memory for that matter, SSDs and stuff, and bringing the prices down. But that factory is not built yet. They've started construction and it's on its way, and it should open up next year. But it's going to take time for that inventory to roll in. So I'm thinking late next year, 2028, before prices come down. So if you can wait, just wait. But if you don't think you can wait another year and a half, this is the best deal. And then I have some other ones. Now this is the only reason I have this on here is because it's getting really good reviews. 4.4 star rating for this generic. I guarantee this is not a top tier manufacturer, meaning, the top tier manufacturers, there's only 4 or 5 manufacturers that are top tier. Samsung and Micro, to name 2 of them. And then there's the assembler, which does all of the branding and packaging of the SD cards once somebody buys it. So this is probably 100% Chinese, right? Some third-party Chinese fabrication plant. But $28, and it's a true 128 gig. If you're on a really tight budget, this is the way to go. And it's getting good reviews, so I don't normally recommend these type of things, but given what memory prices are these days, I think this is worth a shot. Of all the ones that I looked at, this is the only one that I felt comfortable putting on my, pick page. And then let's get back into some more top tier. 256 gig micro SD this is really for your action cams, right? And DJI pockets. They used to include memory cards with their cameras. Now they don't anymore because of the pricing. This is going to be the cheapest you can get, a 256 gig. And then they have a 512 for $99.99. So again, I would get these while they're in stock. Here's a V60. This is a tough call. Not many action cams support V60. So this is probably more along the lines of using it as a dual use in an action cam and or in a camera with an adapter. But if you know you can use the V60 micro SD, this is the best deal. And then here's a Type A memory card. This is for your Sony cameras, you know, A7 stuff. Great deal. There's a little coupon here. This really hasn't gone up in price since it came out. Again, I'm going to eat my words here, but let's take a look. It did go on sale Prime Day for $139, I believe. But yeah, this is kind of the going price for this card. But if you look at other cards, and I did have this on my Prime Day sale page. I don't know if anybody bought one. But if you look at any other Type A card, they're hard to find. Here's one, $239. Let's see, Type A, $199. All of them are a little bit more expensive, right? So this is the best deal, $170. Looks like it's about $30 cheaper than the next one. And this is a card I've been using for over a year in my Sony camera, and it works great. No problems at all. Okay, and then here's the other Type A. But if you're not comfortable with PerGear, like you're not familiar, Next Storage is another top tier brand that you can get. It has a slightly higher speed rating, which you can ignore. But yeah, $199. And then some other deals. Now this deal, I bought 2 of these at this price, $49.99. I am shocked that this is back in stock at the same price. But this is an awesome card for the money. And it's also manufactured by the top tier memory factories and assemblers. You know, Samsung, Micron, and the other assembler, I can't remember their name. It's some Chinese or Taiwanese name. But this has been working great. It is a true V60, a true 128 gig card, and manufactured by top tier. You know, I have mine here. I haven't even opened this one yet. This is going to go into my Lumix L10 when it comes in. So I'm saving this. I don't know when I'm going to get my L10. I pre-ordered it like on the very next day it was announced, but apparently I was... That camera's hard to get now to even pre-order. But anyway, this memory card is a great deal. $50 for a 128 V60. Because again, if you look at, let's see if they have any other 128 V60s down here. I would avoid the, here's a 128 V60, $179, more than 3 times the price. Oh, we are so not on the screen looking at memory cards. I don't know what's wrong with my chat window. You guys normally tell me what's going on, but it's not rolling. This is the card, 128. And when we look at the next one here, $180. Oh, this is a 256, excuse me. Let's find a 128 V60. Gigastone, $200. It's also a top tier manufacturer, but yeah, double, more than, what is that? Oh, that's 256 also. Where's my brain? I didn't take my brain pills this morning. SunEast, $78. Okay. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this brand, but it's getting good reviews. Avoid this brand here. If I recall, it's this one. But let's skip that. I don't want to put any shade on something I'm not 100% sure about. Yeah, but you can see 128 gig V60, they're far and few between, let alone at this price. So I would highly recommend this. These are the other cards I was talking about earlier in case I didn't have the screen up. I can't remember. Can't remember if I had the screen up, but just go to my deal page, you'll see these. And then here's a Lexar. If you don't feel comfortable with Digiera, you can just get a Lexar, $90 for a 128 gig V60. That's not a bad deal. And then here's one for here's another Digiera, 256 gig V30. Again, top tier memory card, but it's a V30. So if you're not a sports action photographer, you do landscape, portraits, street, product, this kind of photography, this card's more than fast enough for those kind of applications. If you're a sports action photographer, you definitely want to go V60. And then the action cams here are all on sale. These are all really good deals. But just remember to buy one of these memory cards for it. I'd recommend this PNY if you're going to buy the action cam, because these don't come with memory cards anymore. And then this webcam, this is the webcam I bought and use. $149. This is a great webcam. So if you do any kind of teleconferencing, live streaming for that matter, this is an amazing webcam on a gimbal. You can easily adjust it. I have presets here. Like if I want to pan over to my desk, I just click a button and it goes over to my desk. I can click it back to me, and then you can have all kinds of, it does a million different things. I just use it very simply for panning, right? But it has face tracking, so you can walk around the room and it'll follow you, stuff like that. It's a great, and it's an Insta360 product. It's great. Okay, and then let's go to the chat section real quick. I thought OM3 was supposed to be the Pen F replacement. Actually, no. They specifically stated, OM Systems said this is not the Pen F replacement. A lot of people tried to look at it that way or take it that way as enthusiasts and consumers of the product, but it's not. It's not a rangefinder style. First off, that's the main difference. And the fact that they specifically stated it's not a replacement. They're coming out with a Pen series. Supposedly they're going to revive the Pen series, but most likely not the Pen F. All right, but speaking of OM3, OM1, these are awesome cameras. OM1 Mark II is a great deal. You can get it with the 12 to 40 f 2.8 Pro lens for $26.99. Great deal. The OM3, of course, I can't speak highly enough of this camera. I use it all the time. I just took it out yesterday for a lot of stuff. And you get this with the 12 to 45 f4 Pro. This is like bread and butter when it comes to the OM3 and lenses. I think it's the perfect size and fit. You can buy it body only for $16.99. So if you already have that lens, get it this way. If you don't have the 12 to 40 f4, just buy the kit. Just buy the kit. I was shooting with mine yesterday with both the 12 to 45 and the 8mm 1.8 Pro lens, and it's just perfect. I have a grip on mine. You can find grips for these pretty easily, mostly on eBay. But this is a Leofoto branded one. This is my favorite grip of all the grips I've tried or tried and seen. I bought one other grip that I liked, but I like this one better. I think it just complements the style of the camera. But okay, this is great. And I'll just show you one or two images. I don't want to make it about my photography because my photography's not that great. But if you just go to my Flickr page, I took all of these with my OM3. And I did a lot of HDR shooting, like bracketing. But this one this is with the 12 to 45 f4 Pro lens. And this was a high-res shot mode shot. So you can see all the details in this ship that I was able to pull out doing handheld high-res shot mode with the 12 to 45 f4. And I also had a polarizer on top of that. One of the ones that I often recommend from either Neewer or someone else. This one is with the 8mm fish. Oh no, this is with the Panasonic Lumix 7 to 14. This was with the 8mm fisheye. The fisheye has really good close-up capabilities. But just some of the shots I took yesterday. This is with the 12 to 45 f4 and the OM3. This one also, this is what? Oh, the 7 to 14. This was a high-res shot mode. So again, 50 megapixels from a 20 megapixel sensor on the OM3 and the OM1 Mark II for that matter. Just an amazing camera and an amazing system overall. So this one here, it's now about $80 more than it was yesterday, but it's still a great deal. You're getting an OM5 Mark II with a 14 to 150, a great general purpose weather sealed lens to complement the weather sealing of the OM5 Mark II. The OM5 Mark II is a very fast, responsive camera, has great autofocus. Particularly the face detect is much improved over the EM5 Mark III, and a lot of other features. Very compact. You put a pancake lens on this and you have a really compact camera system that can go out and do anything anywhere. The only thing this doesn't have that, say, the OM3 and OM1 have is like the subject detect, bird detect, planes, automobiles. And someone asked me in the last live stream, what's one feature I could live without? And I said, well, I could probably live without the subject detect, to be honest. And this would be the camera if I didn't want the subject detect or didn't care about it. This is the camera I would get. All right, but I already have an EM5 Mark III, which is pretty close, but there is a big improvement from the EM5 Mark III to the OM5 Mark II, in my opinion, in terms of the responsiveness and performance of the camera, particularly in the autofocus. Okay, and then Nikon is another brand that, if you want to get into full frame, Nikon is offering the very best deals on full frame cameras, and of course, they're right up there with all the other full frame cameras in terms of image quality. A lot of people prefer the Nikon Color Science, but they're relatively compact, the Z5, the Z5 II, and they're at an amazing deal right now. $1,700 with a lens, and you get a really nice full frame camera system. This is less than the OM3. Come to think of the OM3 by itself, body only, is this much, right? Now, there's always pros and cons when comparing camera systems at similar price points. I don't want to get into that unless you have a specific question. I can give you my opinion, but if you've been shopping full frame, I think this is the best deal on the market of all the full frame cameras out there. Okay, there's a grip for the OM3. Not quite the same as the one I have, but I paid twice as much for mine. I paid I think I paid $80 or $85 for mine. But this is all black, functional, Arca Swiss plate with a little extra grip. I can recommend this one just as much as the one I have because this is at a much lower price point. So if you buy the OM3, you definitely want to get a grip with it. Unless you don't mind the form factor as is, as a vintage camera, then don't worry about it. But I like grips that have specifically just the base plate, full bottom base plate. And that's the main reason I get a grip, not because I really need the grip, but mainly because it has a full base plate and the Arca Swiss built in. So it makes just using the camera a lot more versatile, because I do use a tripod a lot, and this just simplifies everything. And it protects the camera quite a bit, reinforces the tripod mount. So there's very little downside to adding a grip or a full base plate. I put base plates on all my cameras when I can. And then I'm gonna go through these pretty quickly. No-brainer lens, 40 to 150 kit lens. It's not weather sealed. So if you need weather sealing, you need to get the Pro version, the F4. But for $169.99, if you don't have this lens, just get it. You're going to use it all the time. I took it to an air show the other day. I took this shot with it. I took that shot. I took this shot, I think. Was it this one? Yeah. I took this shot with it. So this will give you a better idea of the kind of detail and quality that this lens delivers. It's amazing. So yeah, this is a must-have lens. If you don't have it, just get it. And then some other items down here that are still on sale prices. Maybe a tiny bit higher than it was on Prime Day, but still very good pricing here on all the Ugreen and Anker products. Doesn't look like I have any Anker products in here this week. Oh, they all went up in price. When they do go on sale, I'll let you know. But the Godox flashes are still on sale at the Prime Day prices. I do want to mention this one lens here. I don't think I've mentioned this last week. It's still at this price point. And this very likely is a gray market Sigma, right? So you're going to have to rely on the warranty from 17 Photo. If we take a look at the dealer has a really good rating. But what drew my eye to this is you get a 128 gig card, and we just saw what these are selling for with the lens, and the lens is at a good price, and they throw in a backpack and a UV filter. I don't really care about those things, but if you have, this one is for the Canon APS-C camera, like the R7, the R10. This is a no-brainer lens. This is a great lens, 18 to 50, 2.8, so it's very fast, really good quality, very compact and small for what it is, and a great range. This is your standard trinity of zooms that you would get with any camera. So I highly recommend this lens, particularly with this price point. Just keep in mind, this is very likely a gray market. So keep that in mind. And then let's see. Yeah, the Godox, the retro flash I talked about, the 8200. Here's some additional memory deals. Just keep an eye on these. If you want an armored V60 card, this is the best deal on the market right now. V60 128 gig, $95. You're not going to beat that for an armored card. And then, like I said, just keep an eye on these, you know, when you're shopping. They're good prices, but they're current day pricing, right? These are all cars that I'd recommend if you didn't like any of the ones I showed at the top, or if the ones on the top go out of stock, then you can kind of come down to this list. And then all the filters, I recommend all of these. Just check the filter thread size for NDs and polarizers in particular. If it's a match, like this would be a great filter to pair with the 12 to 45 f4 Pro if you buy the OM3. Definitely get this polarizer with it. Here's another 50 millimeter set. You can get an ND filter and a CPL with the UV and a case. So a little bit more, but you're getting a lot more. This has always been at a good price. So, and it's a glass filter, so you don't have to worry about like softness and things. Some backpacks and bags, slings, tripods. These are all very, very good prices. This is an amazing deal for $31. So if you need a taller tripod than the one that was $20, get this one. So on and so forth. These are all really good deals that I can recommend. So if there's anything there, you know, just check it out. But let me go back to the chat section, and then we'll look at our deals for under $20. There's a few new things I put in on my $20 page that I wanted to show you. And Eric, good to see you. And Rob, when you're picking up the Leica SL3P, you know you want... Not happening. I would love that camera. I do want to get back in the L-mount system because I just love the glass you can get for L-mount. I'm still leaning towards the original S1R Mark I. I know that's a tank of a camera. It's big, you know, it's a kilo by itself, right? But uh, you know, you can pick those up for about 11, 1200. So I can get that with probably 3 primes for around $2,000 on the used market. You know, the 35, 50, and the 85. All that together for about 2,000, maybe 2,200. And that's still less than the price of like a used S1R Mark II. And I'm only saving about 300 kilograms or 300 grams, right? Between the two. Of course, I'm gaining better autofocus and other things, but on a camera like that, I wouldn't need particularly strong autofocus. It was decent, right? But it wasn't great, and it's a very slow camera, the S1R. But anyway, I don't know why we're talking about that. It's still in the back of my mind. And Intrigue, good to see you. Or Eric. Okay, and I'm sorry, Enrique. I get you two confused all the time. Enrique is not Eric. Enrique is Enrique, and then Eric is over here. So I apologize. I still get you guys mixed up after all these years. All right, let's look at the $20 deals. It's robtrek.com/deal20. So I did add a few new things here. So I added the mirrors that I showed you earlier. Battery case, you know, a lot of backpacks don't have sufficient battery pockets. So I threw this in here, $8. It's really important to keep your batteries separated. If you do carry a lot of batteries, especially if they're generics, you're going to be swapping out a lot. Really good cleaning kit here. It comes with a full frame lens sensor swab here. So it's not going to fit Micro Four Thirds. It should fit APS-C at a different angle, like if you go top down instead of left to right. But mainly, the main thing I like here is you get the brush, you get the lens wipes, microfiber cloths, you know, the retractable brush, and the air blower for $7.50. That's a steal to get all that. And then you can buy whatever sensor cleaning swabs you need separately. It looks like this only comes with one anyway. But, oh, it says 16 pack. Cleaning swab, why does it say 16 pack? Oh, because they're counting all the lens wipes. So yeah, I think you're only getting one sensor wipe. But I like it for everything else in there for the deal you're getting. And then I showed some of these on Prime Day, so I'm not going to go over these again. They were cheaper on Prime Day by like $3, $4 across the board on these sling bags. But they're still an amazing deal at the prices you see here for what you're getting. This bag, for example, I saw this bag on a couple other sites for $50 or $42, right? Why pay that? You're getting it here for 20 bucks. And then some more Ugreen stuff, 20 bucks. Some nice little flashes here for 15. There's my tripod again that I always recommend. Straps. You know, I put all kinds of really useful little accessories in here. You know, here's a pack of 30 microfiber cloths for 10 bucks. You know, lens cases, all these filters, and some other accessories and cabling and batteries, card readers. There's something in here for everyone, okay? Like I said, even if they go on sale, it's only going to be a couple $3 usually if they do go on sale. And if they are at a particularly good deal, I will put it on my other page as a really fantastic deal. But on everything here, you know, what I'm trying to show you is you can get this lens bag, either one of these. Let's say this one for $12.99. You can get a flash for $15, so you're like at $28. Tripod for $20, now you're at $48. So you got a tripod, flash, and a bag for $48. And then throw in a filter, a filter set, any one of these. Let's say, what's the most expensive one? This one, $15. So you can get everything here for about $65. A lens filter, a polarizer of some kind, a bag, okay, a tripod, and a cleaning kit. I mean, think about it. For $100, look at all the things you can get together. So if you're starting out in photography, a lot of these things you need as a beginning photographer: tripod, filter, bag. There's a lot of little things in here that you can use if you're already, kind of an enthusiast and really into photography already. You're going to find something you can use here. Okay? And that's why I put this all here. So my deal page is a new thing that I just started last week. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys load up on these little things here and there and save a lot of money and get a lot of things. I think my favorite deal today is actually back on my deal page. My brain just went blank. Is this thing, this flash for $28 is probably the best deal on here. This, and then of course I'm going to buy this. I don't need another flash. God knows I don't need another flash, but this divider and this flash are my favorite deals today. Everything else, they're all good deals, but I'm already knee deep in memory cards and tripods and bags, okay? Seriously, this whole room and my studio is just full of that stuff. But if I were starting over, I could have saved a lot of money. Saved a lot of money if somebody was doing what I do today. If they were doing that for me back then, that'd have been awesome. And that's why I do this every week, is because I want to save you guys as much money as possible and keep photography affordable, because cameras are not cheap anymore. They're just so expensive, cameras and lenses. Thank God for TT Artisans and Viltrox, though. They are coming out with some really good lenses cheap. So there's that. There's sort of the new, like Sigma used to be the brand you go for if you wanted to save money, and you still do, but they've upped their quality quite a bit and are really still cheaper than brand name stuff typically. But okay, any other questions? Let's see. This side towards screen. Let me arrange my. In 2023, I bought a 532 gig cards for $36. The same SD cards are now $70. I know. It's crazy. Like I said, we're gonna have another year and a half of these prices, if not worse. It'll probably get worse before it gets better. So we're at a tipping point right now, in my opinion, where there's still some cards that are not crazy high, like the ones I showed on my page. But if you have to buy one, those are the ones I recommend. If you don't have to buy one, you can wait another year and a half. I would wait. And that goes for SSDs, hard drives, memory cards, USB flash drives, all that stuff. If you can wait, a new factory's coming online next year, late next year, and that should take pressure off the other factories to crank out things, because you can see it's getting harder to find all these different cards in the top tier brands, or top tier quality, I should say. All right. I don't see any other questions. Those are the main things I wanted to cover today. So I wish everyone happy shopping, and thank you so much for joining me. Please use the affiliate links when you can. It does help me out a lot. I really appreciate it. But most of all, I want you guys to have a good day. Try to do that every day. You'll have a good life. Eat healthy and exercise, because I want you all here with me a long time to share this hobby we enjoy, our passion, photography. Thanks again, and I'll be back on Friday for my photo editing.